So, hello, dear guest. So we are now here with our new guest Polina Babych. I think this interview will be interesting for our viewers who are interested in student and school self-government. So Polina, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. As for me, I'm Alexei, and this is my co-host Daria. So let's start.
Hello everyone, my name is Polina. I'm a third-year student of the Faculty of Law at Karazin University. My specialty is law. I'm a representative of the school council at my faculty. I also hold the position of the head of the trade union committee of the Faculty of Law. During my school years, I was a member of school self-government for 3 years and held the position of school self-government president for 6 months. And today, I want to tell you about this institution, about their tasks, structure, what role they play in the development of your self-government in Ukraine.
Okay, Polina, thank you so much for such an amazing introduction. We're all ears to hear your story. And I would like to ask you the first question that came to my mind. What are the main powers of the president of the school parliament? What can they do? And why do we have them?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for your question. Firstly, it's organizational authority, the task of the president of the school parliament to organize meetings, lead these meetings, make a plan for each meeting, plan activity in the school, take the initiative to hold various kinds of events, including charitable ones. And he also deals with communication with the school administration and teachers, and that is every student may address a problem or a request to the president of the school self-government, and he in his turn will do his best to help in solving this problem or request. So also there's supervisory authority. He controls all process in the parliament, the works of the whole organization. So I guess I have named all the basic powers. Thank you.
Oh, okay, it's interesting because, as you know, maybe most of my friends in school and most of friends that I know were not interested in school self-government such as school parliament. It's more interested in student age, but not school. So it's interested for me. So what is the procedure for choosing the president of the school parliament?
So everyone from 8th through 11th grade can nominate a candidate for school government president. When the nominees are approved, there is a general meeting at which each candidate present his or her program of activities, a kind of pre-election campaign. And then there is anonymous voting using an online voting platform. And the next step is counting the votes. Then the school administration makes the results of the vote known, and the one who gets the most votes wins. And the president of the school parliament takes office after taking the oath of office. The term of office is 6 months, and you cannot be president of the school parliament for 2 terms in a row. It seems to me that it's quite a democratic procedure. So that's all. Thank you.
So as we talk about democratic procedure, like in our country now, where maybe so elections. So what maybe some points of your program? Do you maybe remember something about it? I know
Yeah,
it's a bit far too long for to remember, but maybe you remember your some uh, functions in your program maybe.
I also was interested in this question. I also wanted to ask you about this pre-voting campaign because for me it's kind of like a little bit difficult to understand how it works. So what was the main idea of this pre-voting campaign? To get acquainted with your voters, yeah, like in the pre-voting, general pre-voting system, and to introduce yourself that, okay, I'm the best candidate for this position, please vote for me. So does it work in the same way?
Maybe I can help you. So name some maybe what do you want to improve in your school? What program? What you include in your school president program? Something like
Or,
this.
unfortunately, it was so long ago.
Oh, we understand. It's I think it's. I also don't remember so much about my school. Uh,
Yeah.
so okay. So talking about school parliament, also maybe you name some any special structure of the school parliament. So maybe something about this.
Okay, so actually, no, it's divided into committees. Each committee has its own head. Each head is responsible for his work to the president of the school government. Each committee is responsible for its own direction and has its own specific tasks. Every member of the school self-government must belong to a committee, except the president, his deputy, and the secretary of the school parliament. They don't belong to any committee. The same member cannot belong to different committees, but they can change committees at any time. So all members of the school parliament take part in school activities, not just the member of the committee responsible for this area.
Okay, may I ask you one more additional question? What about all these people? What is the process of receiving their positions as well? Should they also be selected by students? Or if you are a president, you may have like your friend as a person who will help you with your goals.
They can choose for themselves any committee.
Yeah, thank you so much. I got it.
Okay, so
Okay.
if we're talking about school self-governments, maybe
Yeah, and what are the main qualities that school self-governance develops in people? How can it help for further life? Did it help you or no? Did it boost your leadership skills?
Thank you for the question. In my opinion, there are such qualities as responsibility, communication skills, of course, ability to work in a team, and organization skills, creativity. And if we talked about me personally, I understand for myself a simple truth. Taking the position of the head of the school self-government, it's not to be afraid to start doing something for fear that it might not work. It's better to try and fail than not to try at all.
yeah, I agree with you. I think that the team working and especially team building skills is a very needed skills in our time, and also I don't know how to name it, but maybe taking the initiative because of the process, because it's very important to maybe have a good job, have a good point in study and other points. So okay, so maybe you remember some negative or positive points about your school self-government. So what is your maybe why is important to develop this self-government in schools, and maybe some points how to improve it, or it's an addition, or it's interesting about to me because I don't really know much self-government in schools. So please.
Firstly, I want to tell you about the main task of the school self-government, and it includes participation in the management of the educational institution, participation in discussion and solving issues of improvement of the educational process, organization of recreation, health improvement, life and food, hold organizational, educational, scientific, sports, recreational and other events, participate in activities to ensure the quality of education, protect the rights and interests of school children. And firstly, it helps to development of many of the skill we talked about earlier. Secondly, the school should organize learning and communication in such a way as to help students obtain the knowledge of life that they can get on their own. It's supported by the democratic school model, in which the creation of the system of self-governments plays a major role. The self-government also carries out such tasks as formation of students' readiness to participate in management of society, democratization of the life of the collective, and increasing the social activity of students, assisting the development of the child, and humanization of relations.
Okay, sounds really interesting and intriguing. Could you please maybe recall something that was the most difficult point for you when you were a school president? Did you face any troubles, or were you afraid of being a school president?
Yeah, it's also, I want to interrupt, sorry, it's also a question from our viewers, so I think it's about to seem to ask, maybe so, to ask it in our time.
It is a huge responsibility, like you told. Yeah, you have a lot of points that you are responsible for. You are involved into educational process. You are involved into the feeding process of students. You are involved into the communication between students and teachers, and you are kind of like manager from the side of students that represents them, their ideas. Just for the whole school. So did you have any problems? Were you afraid of this position? Did you have any troubles?
At first, it was difficult to take a managerial position, but it was interesting. Everything was cool. There were no problems with communication with the administration or teachers, or maybe organization events. So it was cool, it was fun, and it's very important experience in my life.
Yes, thank you for answer. So I think we ended with the school self-government and we can talk about student. So as for my shape, I see I'm on the third year of studying in law faculty, and I don't even don't know everything, don't know even good about so our students self-government in our law faculty. So maybe you tell something about the task of student council of the faculty of law in our Karazhan University.
Of course, I'd like to start with the fact that the law of Ukraine of higher education stipulates that student self-government is the right and opportunity for students to decide on issues of education and life, protection of students' rights and interests, and to participate in the management of a higher education institution. So students, government provides protection of the rights and interests of students and their participation of the management of higher educational institutions. Students' self-government is carried out by students directly and through students' self-government bodies, which are chosen by direct secret ballot of students. Student self-government bodies participate in the management of a higher educational institution, participate in discussion and solving issues of improvement of the educational process, research work, scholarship, organization of creation, health improvement, living conditions, and food. Hold organizational, educational, scientific, sports, recreational, and other events, participate in activities to improve the quality of higher education, protect the rights and interests of students, participate in solving the issues of providing proper living conditions of students in hostels and organizing students' meals, manage funds and other property, and have the right to organize protest actions.
Okay, I was a little bit shocked by the scope of activities that you can manage, and I was extremely interested in the last one. Like, I can't recall anything that was connected with something like this in our university at least, so we are lucky not to have experience with these demonstrations, you know. Okay, and I have one more question for you. How long have you been a member of student council?
I've been a member of this institute since my first year, so I mean, I've been a member of this organization for 3 years.
Okay, it's really maybe I think a bit long career in the institute hour. So why do you decide to take part in this institute from the first year of studying? Do you know from when you start studying in our university that you will be in our student council or not?
So first of all, it's interesting for me, and I already have experience in such a structure, so I think that my knowledge can help to development of this institution.
Okay, so an additional question, maybe can you compare the student councils and the school president, school parliament, something. So these organizations, what is better organized on your mind?
Maybe student self-government, because this institution is this institution is fixed at the legislative level, so that's all.
Oh, I understand. The school self-government regulates only by school, and student regulates only by law.
Yeah, and you know, it means that you have more rights, and if your rights they were not followed, yeah, if somebody offends you, if somebody is against you and you can't work according to the right that you have, you can't represent students, or you can't do some points that you should do, you may also, you have this opportunity, yeah, because you have a kind of like legislation, specific legislation, and you can ask for support and you can fight for your rights in this way. It is better, I think, that the structure that we have for a student, not a student, for a school parliament, because there you have like teachers, and if they are against you, you can't do anything. Okay, and let's move on to the next question. What are the main principles of student government activities?
So student self-government bodies work on the principle of um, openness, election, and accountability of student self-government bodies, equality of the rights of students to participate in student self-government, independence from the influence of political parties and religious organization. That's all.
Okay, so if you're talking about main principles, how this structure, or what is it financial basis? So by whom or what it finances?
The financial basis of student self-government is funds determined by the academic council of the higher educational institution and membership fees of students, the amount of which is set by the supreme body of student self-government of a higher educational institution.
Okay, it's actually good that students they also can donate some fees for the further development of such institutions. In case they see that this institution works properly, they can boost it with the usage of their donations. And they also know that in some universities, like student parliament, they can organize some charity organizations. Yeah, they can create some concerts, some meetings with different interesting people. They also can invite additional guests, and they can receive extra money for charity, for example. It is a good way how self-government students institutions can help our army, for example, or other different charity projects. It works extremely well, I think, and like students are people who can change this world with the usage of this power.
As a as a student of Khorazin University, I can say that our student council, as my shame as I don't know about it everything and don't know very well, but I know that it organizes some meetings, some different concerts, and some other organizations that help students, especially in the first months of war, especially now. It organizes some many and interesting places and work. So I think students of Khorazin University may thank that student council for its work.
And it's a good point that with the usage of such organizations, you can find people who think in the same way that you think as well. Yeah, so you may find people who are on the same wavelength that you are, and it's comfortable for such groups of people to develop something new because they are not against each other. They are not competitors. They are not envy each other. They just have the same goal, and they work. They do their work properly to reach this goal. It is by how it works. That's why I extremely love such kind of organizations, and I think that it's a place where the students' power is rising,
Okay, so one of our final question to Polina. So, how do you think how develop is this institution in Ukraine? If you're talking about student council organization, and maybe your thoughts about how to develop in future, maybe some points, some views, or what's on your mind?
So, since this institution is fixed at the legislative level, it works as in almost every university. So, in my opinion, it's quite a developed institution in Ukraine. Of course, it has its disadvantages and advantages, but in my opinion, the existence of student government in every university is a guarantee of improving the quality of education and the protection of the rights and interests of students.
Wow, it's a good question, by the way. So, what are the ways how students can protect their rights, or what are the role of the student government? How can they help students to fight for their rights in case they were offended or something works not really well?
So, unfortunately, it's not my responsibility, but the head of student government can at any time approach the faculty administration or faculty member with any problem or question that students are concerned about. She's also free to maintain the anonymity of the complainant.
So, to whom I need to ask to write a complaint on my lecturer, on my teacher? You, or especially as a member of student council?
Our head of student government is Dasha.
Okay. I think I asked.
Not
maybe.
me, Losha, don't write me.
Okay, it's not
I am
you, I
not that
know.
Dasha. I am not the only one Dasha in this world. Yeah, but it is actually the way how it works, you know. We are all close and connected with each other with the usage of different student conference, so we know each other, yeah. Even in the context of the war, when we have a remote education, we don't have any opportunities like to organize some face-to-face meetings like we had it before. But even now, we keep in touch with the usage of modern technologies, and it is the way how the our institution is working right now. It's not good, but it's also not bad. It's just our reality, and we just need to accept it.
We also have another question of our guest. So, was it easy to manage all these responsibilities, duties? So, was it hard, or maybe I think you asked this question, but if guests ask, so why not?
As for me, it's not difficult. It's so interesting, and that's all.
Okay, it's short, but I think right answer. So I think we can finalize this our interview. So we have final questions that we ask every guest. So, what reward do you connect with the Ukraine?
Yeah, what are your three associations with Ukraine? You may name three adjectives like beautiful, amazing, inspiring, brave.
Oh my God. Brave, beautiful, and glory to Ukraine.
Lovely Ukraine, yeah.
So I think as we can say for our guests bye bye and see on our next week or next interview.
Yeah, thank you, Polina, so much for your attention. Thank you for sharing with us your amazing experience. We were extremely happy to host you for our interview. I really believe that your experience will be helpful for other students, and maybe they will receive extra power or extra motivation to become a part of the student self-government process, because actually, yeah, it's a good opportunity how you can boost your leadership skills and how you can make a meaningful contribution in the life of the university. And yeah, it's just a good experience.
So it's all.
Thank you for the interview. It was nice talking